Target, one of the most popular department stores in America, is suffering financially after a 40-day boycott started due to this DEI pushback. You can see Donald Trump said that businesses no longer had to follow those mandates, and certain companies immediately reduced its impact on their company structure, and Target was one of them. And a lot of African-American people said now they no longer wanted to support Target.
Yeah, so it looks like the people down at Target done reached out to the right Reverend AL Sharpton. They done reached out to Al Sharpton, and I'm trying to figure out for what. What is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to release a press statement that make us start shopping at Target again? Because if that's what you're expecting, you're in for a big disappointment. This is no longer a boycott. We don't fuck with y'all. You said what you said. Now stand on it. The difference between Target and us is that we standing on big business. We said we don't fuck with y'all, and we mean it. So I don't know what y'all thought reaching out to Al Sharpton was gonna do, except give me more content for a TikTok video. Cause no, we don't give a damn. Half the time we don't fuck with Al Sharpton, if we being perfectly honest. So I don't know what y'all thought that was gonna do. But yeah, y'all need to figure something else out, because this is no longer a boycott.
Knock, knock, knock. Seems the Black community has a visitor. They roll back DEI. We roll back our wallets. Now Target is rolling back to us, hat in hand. It's giving karma. It's giving, oh, now you care? But more importantly, it's giving news. Let's rewind. Target tried to play cute earlier this year, scaling back their diversity and inclusion efforts after rallying up the right wing. Translation, they choose MAGA over melanin, and baby, it backfired big time. Now Brian Cornell is meeting with Reverend AL Sharpton. Yes, the Reverend AL Sharpton you see here, trying to patch things up with the very Black community they thought was disposable. Oh, so now we matter? Pastor Jamal Bryant and others weren't playing either. They launched a 90-day boycott during Lent. Black dollars were pulled and Target felt it.
So Target is learning the hard way that actions have consequences, especially when it comes to the Black community. After the company decided to quietly roll back its DEI programs, many Black shoppers took note and responded not with a loud protest, but with silence and power. That power came in the form of quiet boycott. No headlines, no hashtags, just a steady intentional decision to stop spending money where it's no longer welcomed. Now, Target leadership is feeling the heat from those missing dollars and declining support. In a surprising move, the company's CEO recently reached out to Reverend Sharpton in an effort to reconnect with the Black community and perhaps repair the damage. But here's the thing, a lot of Black people are not falling for it. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, my name is Rosemary. Kindly consider subscribing to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Before we get to the video, let me play a few clips on the same and I'll be back with my commentary. All credit goes to the original creators of these videos.
And now let's talk numbers. They're really ugly. Target lost about $12 billion in market value after gutting DEI, and now they're facing lawsuits from shareholders. You fumbled the culture, you also fumbled the coin. Black-owned brands that once thrived in Target's DEI spotlight are now caught in corporate crossfire. Left wondering what happened to the allyship we had that you promised us. It's giving corporate panic. It's giving performative regret. It's giving a big lesson in never biting the hand that built your brand. So y'all, what do y'all think? Should we forgive or forget? Like, what do you think? How should we move this forward? I know Al Sharpton is going to give him a mouthful, but Al Sharpton doesn't speak for all of us. So hit the comments, send this to your bougie Target bestie, and follow up for more on FAFO moments. Thanks for watching.
This is a message for Target and Target only. Okay? Are you listening? Whoever told you to do a sit down with Reverend AL Sharpton, you should fire them. Because I, like many other Americans, do not look towards AL Sharpton to be the beacon of hope. I don't look towards AL Sharpton to help me define and or curate my moral compass. I don't know who told you, but AL Sharpton is not the leader of the Black liberation movement. He wasn't even the person leading the conversation on DEI. AL Sharpton is not relevant and hasn't been so in more than a decade. That's not to say that Al Sharpton doesn't represent a subgroup of African Americans who believe and think the way that he does. But if you, for 1 second, you think that one meeting with Al Sharpton is going to get black people to start flocking back to your company, because at this point, you're going to have to do a lot more than have a photo shoot with a handful of black civil rights leaders to get us back into those stores. I've now curated my entire life to where I don't even think about anything that I could possibly need from Target. I drive past Target every day, don't have any inkling or itch to return. Why? Because you didn't understand your base. And you are willing to throw us under the bus in order to appease a subgroup of American voters who never shopped at Target anyway.
I'm so sorry, I have to laugh. Target thinking that the solution to them rolling back on DEI is scheduling a meeting with their CEO and Al Sharpton because people are boycotting is a little hilarious, because respectfully, no shade to Reverend AL Sharpton, power to the people, but Al Sharpton is not the spokesperson for Black America. More importantly, I would argue a huge part of this movement and the mobilization of it happened on social media, and Al Sharpton does not necessarily represent the generation that is pulling back their dollars from Target. I would also like to point out, let's say Target apologizes and acknowledges that this might not have been a smart business move. You offended your base, your consumer base. I would also argue that because they're losing that much dollars, like, black people are not the only people boycotting Target. But that's neither here nor there. Let's say they apologize. Let's say they acknowledge that doing that, especially so publicly, was a mistake. The reality is the apology would only matter if there's action and creating an infrastructure that allows their new brands, whether they're black owned or not, to actually thrive on their shelves. Because just being a black-owned brand on a Target shelf isn't enough for you to actually do well as a business. And what happens is a lot of these brands get so excited about being at a Target, and they have to scale to Target's demand and create an inventory that accommodates Target's consumer numbers. They end up not doing well and actually going under because they cannot afford to accommodate being in Target, but they also aren't necessarily selling at the rate they need to sell in order to just break even. So if Target, the multi-billion-dollar corporation, really wanted to make an apology, they should do a formal apology, but also create an infrastructure for brands entering Target, whether they are black owned, women owned, or literally owned by anybody, that allows those brands to actually thrive on their shelves rather than just take up space in order to not sell and be removed from the shelves.
This whole situation shines a light on something deeper. Companies like Target spent years promoting their DEI efforts, especially during the height of racial justice conversations around 2020. They put black creators, authors, and designers at the forefront. They made public commitments to equity and representation, and for many, it seemed like a lead step forward. But when the political climate shifted and criticism around DEI programs began to rise, Target backed away. They reduced those initiatives, quietly removed some inclusive displays, and hoped no one would notice. But people did notice, especially the very communities those efforts were meant to support. What makes this moment more interesting is the way black consumers have responded. This has not been an aggressive or emotional reaction. It's been calm, measured, and deliberate. It's a silent boycott built on the principles that respect goes both ways. If a company decides that diversity is no longer a priority, the communities have the right to decide that their loyalty is not either. And while Target might not have expected such a strong reaction, it's clear now that walking away from the DEI came at a cost. Now, by turning to the Reverend Sharpton, the CEO of Target seems to be hoping for a bridge back to the black community. And while some might feel that as a good faith effort, others see it differently. Many are asking, why now? Why reach out only after the backlash? Why wasn't the community consulted before making the decision to roll back the DEI programs? And more important, why should black people be expected to forgive and return when they were truly included in the first place? There is also the question of who speaks for the black community. While Reverend Sharpton is a well-known and respected figure, especially in civil rights circles, the community itself is diverse and multi-voiced. People are more informed than ever. They don't just follow leaders, they think critically, observe actions, and make their own decisions. So while a conversation with Sharpton might check a box for Target, it doesn't automatically bring trust back from the people who feel led. The truth is this is not just about targets, it's about a larger pattern we have seen across many companies. DEI was popular when it looked good on social media. It was easy to support when everyone was watching. But the moment things got complicated or controversial, many of those same companies started backing away. That signals something important, that DEI for some was more about image than impact. And when that became clear, people feel used. That's exactly why this boycott is happening. Not because people are being difficult, but because they are tired of being taken for granted. What's happening now is a form of accountability. It's not about cancel culture or outrage, it's about values. Consumers are saying, if you don't stand with us, we won't stand with you. And that's a fair position. After all, businesses ask for loyalty from their customers, but loyalty has to be mutual. It has to be earned, and more importantly, it has to be maintained. You can't ask for support during Pride Month or Black History Month and then turn around and cut the very programs that created that inclusion. In the case of Target, the path forward won't be easy. Trust once broken takes time to rebuild, and apologies alone won't be enough. The company will have to show real commitment, not just in words, but in actions. That might mean bringing back DEI programs, investing in Black-owned brands, hiring more diverse leadership, or supporting the communities they once claimed to care about. If Target wants the Black community to come back, they will need to do more than just make a phone call to a well-known figure. They will need to rebuild the relationship from the ground up. Content creators, consumers, and observers can take moments like this to reflect. It's about setting standards. It's about saying that inclusion matters, not just when it's convenient, but always. And when companies forget that, it's perfectly okay for some people to step back. Because at the end of the day, respect can't be negotiated. It has to be shown. So to Target and many other companies thinking about walking away from diversity, just know that people are watching. And more importantly, they are acting quietly but powerfully and on their own terms. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think the Black community will take their dollars back to Target? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.